Domo, welcome everybody. Today we're playing Do Not Take This Cat Home. But it's like, why not? What's the worst that could happen? So yeah, Domo Arditto, Domo Bucky, welcome. It's like, this is one of those games that I heard about. It was free on itch.io, so I downloaded it. It's barely got a whole bunch of endings, so I don't know how long it's gonna take, so let's just hop right into it. Let's not keep the kitty waiting. Yeah, you got the cat though. That's a cursed one. You're not having a great day as usual. Oh, great. It's the first time in a while you felt like going out. It's like all I've been hearing is rain sound effects, so I have no idea how loud it's gonna be, so I just lowered it a little bit. We'll see if I have to make any more adjustments. But in the middle of your walk, it starts to rain. Typical, but maybe this is just a sign that you should have stayed home today? Yeah, do not take this taffy home. I already took my taffy home. Doughboy, good job, welcome. How are you doing? You will the cat? Yeah, we will the cat. Yeah, you could always try again tomorrow, right? You turn to head home when... Oh, here's your kitty! Huh? What was that? There are only a few people around on the street. Makes sense due to the increase of missing persons around the area recently. Ooh. Well, that and the weather. But none of them react to the sound at all. Sus. Curiously guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a dark, dingy alleyway. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The ground dampened by the rain makes your steps sound louder and more confident than you actually feel. Oh, here's your kitty. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the cold, dim light of the alley. At the end of the valley in a big cardboard box. Oh, Domo Doom guy, welcome. Give me your taffy or you'll steal my TV. You could have my TV. Then you'd have to deal with my dad. Because he's the one that uses it, not me. And I will say, you will lose. He goes to gym every day of the week. Yeah, in the box is a cat. Huh, guess that should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. Like, well, good luck. It's so cute. And it definitely knows it. You've never had much of an option one way or another about cats before, but if they're all like this one, it's a shock they haven't already found a way to rule the world. Yet. You don't think you'd mind bowing down to a feline overlord. Yet. I mean, the Egyptians did it. You look around the alley with a small frown. Who leaves cats in cardboard boxes these days anyway? Wouldn't they just jump out and leave the box eventually? The cat doesn't answer you, obviously. It also doesn't do as you suggest and leave the box. It's just looking at you. Okay. As if waiting for you to make the next move. Alright, I guess we will take the cat home. You know what? You reach into the box and pick the cat up, holding it out in front of you. Why not? Yeah, I could turn that up. I didn't know how loud the sound effects were going to be, so I made it pretty low. Turn it up a little bit. Hopefully nothing explodes. You're all alone and well. I'm kind of in the same boat myself, so... You bring the cat close. You didn't realize it was shivering until just then, but it slowly breathes easier as it presses into your chest. Why not stick together, right? At least for a little while. Aww, kitty. You think a little while will probably be more like a day. You'll be responsible and take it to a shelter tomorrow, but for now, let's get you out of the rain, okay? Oh, there we go. Now we can hear it. You stop by a small local pet store for some cat food, then head back home. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. One you living alone in it. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you watch for a moment as it curiously explores a new environment. Leaving the feline to its own devices, you set about making the both of you some dinner. You take out the can of cat food and open it with the tab on top. Hmm. You put some cat food on a saucer and click your tongue to call the cat over to you. Like that? I thought you would go pss, 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 pss. It perks up and you beckon and rushes over. Taffy, no, I literally, Taffy's laying on my foot, of course, and I literally felt his head raise when I started doing the pss, 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 pss. It's like, no, don't worry, Taffy. False alarm. It looks at the plate of food and completely ignores it. Not hungry, I guess. You try to let it annoy you. The cat doesn't understand the concept of money to appreciate that you spent your hard-earned cash on it. Just a cat, after all. I'll just leave it here if you get hungry later, okay? Cat rubs his body against your legs with a purr. You smile. That's enough of the thanks for you. It follows you into the kitchen as you start on your own dinner. You decide you have enough ingredients for a sandwich. Bread toasted, mayo and mustard spread, turkey and cheese and lettuce perfectly placed, tomato slice. Ow! You wince as you cut your finger on the knife while slicing a tomato. Stupid. You felt a little embarrassed for such a blunder and sigh, tossing the knife onto the cutting board. You're about to head into the bathroom for a bandage when the cat hops onto the counter. It sniffs at the knife and meows almost pointedly at you. Don't worry, I'm alright. It was just a... You watch as the cat starts to lick lightly, but enthusiastically at the blood on the knife. At your blood. You're so shocked that by the time you come to your senses, the knife has been completely licked clean. The cat sits back, staring at you. You feel a little uneasy. Sure, cats are meat-eating predators, but that was a little weird, right? Sure, you're no cat expert, but that was definitely not something an ordinary cat would do. Domo surveillance, but welcome, how you doing? Just in time for cat. Cat lick blood off knife. Very spooky. Right? Well, regardless, you're not about abandoning a cat in need while it's still raining outside. Not after all your efforts. Domo cat, you welcome. How you doing? Hello. You were going to take it to the shelter tomorrow anyway. Oh, what's one night of awkwardness? Weird or not, it's just a cat. Yeah, a cat would definitely eat you if you had the chance. Oh yeah, you know. The rest of the evening unfortunately goes downhill from there. Even after covering up your finger cut with a bandage, the cat keeps trying to lick at the wound. While you're eating your sandwich, you're cleaning up the kitchen, trying to watch TV. You definitely push it away every time, but you're starting to get worried at the strange behavior. I just realized the music's a little low. It's like, might have overguesstimated a little bit. Alright, that should be better. I've just got a taste for blood and thinks you're food now. You're not sure what you'll do if it starts to get more aggressive. You keep thinking about the cat food sitting in the corner, untouched. Oh, he's getting a little aggressive. Uh-oh. Oh, come on, enough already. You shove it away a little more forcefully this time out of annoyance. You feel bad immediately, but before you can do anything, the cat meows sharply at you and dashes off around the corner into the hall. You sigh deeply. At this point, you're just worried it's going to take a bite out of you in your sleep. Maybe a vet will have an idea on how to calm it down? You could only hope. You don't have many other options left other than tossing the cat out in the rain. After finding a number of a local vet, you pick up the landline and... the lights just... went out? Great, just great. The rain must have knocked out the power. You check your cell phone only to find that it's out of batteries. You must have forgotten to charge it before leaving out earlier. The outing had been so spur of the moment that it had no doubt messed with your usual routine. You grab a flashlight and turn it on. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Did the rain stop? But then, why did the power go out? You look outside. The sky is pitch black. What time is it? You turn to check the clock. Oh. Uh-oh. The cat sits on top of your digital clock, staring at you. Thinking now you realize the clock shouldn't be working at all with the power outage, but the numbers are lit up and going completely haywire. The cat stares at you. It's like, oh boy, it's help o'clock. Just half past kill. It's completely still. You'd think it was a statue if you didn't know any better. It's not giving off any indication that it's alive. It's 6:46. It's not blinking, it's not even breathing, but its eyes. This isn't normal. You're afraid. You want to run, but you're afraid of letting the cat out of your sight. You consider tossing the cat out after all. But as soon as the thought enters your head, you feel a sharp urge to vomit. Its eyes, hold you still. Even with your flashlight trained on it, its pupils are large, round, inky pits. Oh, the flashlight flickers. And the cat is gone. Fear immediately grips your mind. The silence, punctuated with the rapid pumping of blood in your heart, is overridden as your ears slowly start to pick up the sound of static all around you. How is the clock working with no power? You don't know why such a question matters at the moment, but you feel as if having the answer will make sense out of everything that's happening. That order will be restored, but no answer comes to mind. You back away from the clock and feel as if the air itself coils tightly and abruptly in response. Like a predator prepared to pounce, but waiting for your next move. But you're afraid to move. You're afraid to even take a breath. But you can't stay still forever, right? Whatever is watching you, you can already feel its impatience. Like, why'd you let the cat into the house? 'Cause it was raining. It's too eager. You don't know how you know this, but you can sense it as clearly as if it had whispered. Oh. Like, I heard that. Right into your ear. Right into your soul. It won't let you wait it out. Not that you could even if it did. You can't stay here. You have to run. With this thought, a sudden primal instinct awakens within you, making you tear yourself into a hasty burst of movement, of action. But you're still weak from the fears gripped on your mind. Your legs tangle together under you in your haste, and you fall to the ground. A sharp pain explodes in the center of your foot. At first, you think you've broken your ankle, but something warm and wet trickles down the length of your foot, pooling underneath it. You hear the sound of metal scraping on tiles after skidding across the floor as if it had been kicked. Winded from your fall, you look up in a daze and see the object glinting in a strange light coming in from outside. The light pours in from your now open front door. Yeah, double always welcome. Yeah, we got a lot of blood. Thoughts of how, when, who, what in regards to your inexplicably open door screeches to a halt, as your brain finally identifies the metallic object you've been staring at. It's your kitchen knife. And still tinted red from your earlier blunder? But that's not right. Wasn't it completely licked clean by the... Gulp. You gulp dryly at the pain in your foot. You barely have time to wonder how the knife ended up on your living room floor to be stepped on, instead of resting on your cutting board in the kitchen where you'd left it. When you spy something in the darkness just beyond the knife, it spies right back at you. A pair of glowing golden eyes come forward as the cat emerges from the shadows into the light from your doorway. It pads lightly over to the knife, as if skipping in delight, and bends down to lap the blood dripping from the blade. Ah! Your senses slowly begin to overwhelm you. The chill of the air as it starts to suffocate you under its weight. The sound of your shaky breaths discordant against the static now piercing your skull. The dryness on your tongue spreading to your throat. The incomprehensible sight of the stray you've taken in, licking away at your kitchen knife, once again completely clean. The scent of blood from the fresh wound on your foot. Blood? Golden eyes slide up to you as if in response to your sudden realization. Blood. You're hurt. Your foot is bleeding. You're bleeding. You're bleeding. The cat barely moves, shoulders twitching as if just considering the act of pouncing forward. But you're already on your feet and out the door. You run a rather limp down the empty street. The sky is black and bleeding red, but there's a strange light emanating from nowhere that casts everything else in white. The houses, the trees, the road, even you. Everything, except your blood. You could just barely glimpse the bloody imprints your injured foot leaves in your wake with every impact it makes on the ground. With the ground. It hurts. It hurts. I got the bloody foot. But you can't stop. You don't stop. Not when the shadows grow around you. Not when you feel the gaze of eyes all over you. Not when the road ahead of you is darkened by a long shadow of something behind you. Even then, you don't stop running because if that's the cat right there ahead of you, then when the world is behind you, keep going. Huh. Interesting. How very, very interesting. Ending 0. It begins. Yeah, so there's like 40 endings, and that was just the first one. Yay! You're walking. Right, of course. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out, and you're actually glad that you did. The weather is absolutely perfect today. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. You tentatively allow yourself to feel excited for the possibilities of where you could go or what you could do, maybe even who you could meet. You're so deep in thought that you almost miss it. Huh? What was that? Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a lonely alleyway. The sunlight only just manages to reach down in between the tall buildings on either side. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward, the loose gravel and scattered debris on the ground softening your steps. Finally, the sound source comes into view in the warm, almost ethereal light of the alley. At the end of the alley, a big cardboard box. Is a cat. Huh, guess I should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. Puts its front paws on the edge of the box and looks up at you. Oh, so... You look so... familiar, right? Then again, it is a cat. Not many different ways for a standard black cat to look after all. This one sure is a cutie though. Just look. Not glaring at you or hissing at you for getting this close like other stray cats have in the past. It's just sitting there patiently, waiting for you to do something. You'll take it all, why not? Well, why not? Right? You barely reach out your arms before the cat eagerly leaps into them and jumps onto your shoulders. It butts its head into your temple, nuzzling against it. Hehe. You can't help but smile at the cat's enthusiasm. Let's get you out of here, yeah? I'll be giddy. On the way home, you briefly consider getting cat food. But that would be a waste of time. You shrug at the odd feeling and move on. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. 1 you alone living in it. Deja vu. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you wait for it to walk away and explore the new environment. But it simply sits and looks up at you expectantly. I know. Leave it be. Like what? I could clean my apartment. Said that even if it's your day off, that doesn't mean you should be completely unproductive. You know, I have a guest and all, but you really shouldn't put off your chores. Best to get them done while you're in the mood to do so. So for now, you get dressed, roll up your sleeves, and get to work on cleaning the apartment. At least, you try to? You sweep the living room. You wipe the kitchen counter. Okay, you don't make the bed, but who actually does that anyway? I do. Still, You notice that no matter how much you clean up, you keep finding more messes than where you started. You go over to the cat. You suspect it might be the culprit behind this mystery, but every time you rush to check on it or catch it in the act, you find it napping in the living room. It's just being a little guy. You keep cleaning, but the cat, or something, is leaving more and more mess in its wake. Keep cleaning. You keep cleaning, but there's just more mess and more and more. Finally stop and look around you. No. You don't even recognize your home anymore. There's piles of junk everywhere. Do you even own this much stuff? You don't remember ever buying or receiving most of it. The piles tower over you. You feel claustrophobic. The stench of garbage is overwhelming despite your hands feeling raw from all the cleaner fluid you've been using. Your eyes still burn from the bleach. You need some air. You need to get out of here. You hear a crash and see a teacup you're certain you don't own smashed on the floor. You look up and see the cat perched on a tearing pile of china and kitchen appliances. Carefully nudges another teacup from the pile, sending it careening to the ground. You know, hashtag just cat things. But you don't even flinch as it shatters. Instead, you start to chuckle. Suddenly you're laughing. It's so hilarious. A tear started running down your face. I knew it was you. You did this, didn't you? You pick up the largest piece of ceramic from the broken teacups. Didn't you? And throw it at the cat. The cat dodges by leaping off the pile. The pile sways. It sways. It's falling. Oh, it's falling towards you. Ooh, that's no good. You can't move. You're buried. The pile fell on top of you. Broken shards of fine china and sharp utensils are piercing your skin. Your organs. Your bones feel loose and limp, crushed under the heavy appliances. Warm liquid pools under you. With the last of your strength, you listen as the cat pads over to you before laying down and purring sleepily. Yeah, a nap sounds pretty good. Ending 1. A not so clean getaway. Oops. Let's catch him in the act. How are you supposed to finish cleaning up if this little imp is making a mess of itself? No. You know the cat's the culprit. You consider locking it up in the bathroom, at least until you clean the rest of the apartment. Oh no, I'm frozen. How long have I been frozen? Nope, I'm good. Doesn't seem fair when you don't actually have any proof. You need to investigate this further. Proof. Not just for the sake of your sanity, but more importantly for the sake of cleanliness. You start to clean again and peek behind you, catching mere glimpses of a paw here or a tail there. But as with earlier, when you rush back to the living room, the cat is still sleeping. Okay, you want to play, cat? Then let's play. This time you decide to lay a trap, when your feline friend won't be able to resist. You tackle the kitchen island counter and give it the works. It's glistening by the time you're done. So clean. You drop kick anyone who'd even thought of eating off of it. The perfect trap for your little cleaning saboteur. You whistle innocently as you exit the room and hide around the corner of the entryway to the hall. From the angle you're at, you have a perfect view of the cat in the island counter. There's no way you won't catch the culprit in the act now. If it really isn't the cat, maybe you'll give it a treat as an apology for your suspicions? But as you deliberate if you should stop at a grocery store to get some fish, the cat starts to... Ooh. Shift? Its back that was rising and falling evenly moments ago is now rippling in small tremors like an agitated wave on a black sea. It's shuddering. It's bubbling. It's bulging. It's bulging. Oh. Pop. Huh? What the hell? You gape in disbelief as another cat bursts out of the still sleeping feline you've taken home with you. It's multiplying. You're fairly certain that's not how cats give birth. But more importantly, You watch cat number 2 shake itself off before leaping up into the counter, rolling around on top of it and leaving fur and grime in its wake. Yeah, don't love you either. Welcome. Yeah, this is totally normal. Just doing some mitosis. Probably should have given it a bath earlier. You feel like your mind is lagging behind reality of the discovery you just made, but you don't seem capable of thinking beyond smaller observations. For example, the thought, though the hows and whys of what you witness elude you, the more pertinent question that strikes you is that if the original cat is still sleeping and the cloak cat is busy making yet another mess, then where are all the other clones? Ooh. Suddenly, the two cats look directly at you in perfect unison. Their eyes pin you to the spot with their intensity. But you realize with the familiar sinking feeling of being watched from behind that they're not the only ones looking at you. You slowly turn around. Ooh. Packed in the hall behind you from the floor to the ceiling is a living, breathing, writhing wall of cats, of clones, all piled on top of each other. The glowing golden eyes of every cat in the undulling wall of pure black fur. Every single eye is trained on you. Out of fear and a sheer desperate need to distance yourself from this blight on reality and order, you take a single step back. And in response, the wall just breaks. The cats all stampeding over you. It'd be kind of cute if their soft paws weren't hiding claws as sharp as knives. You try to protect yourself, but there's just too many of them. Blood leaks steadily from your scratches. You feel dizzy. With what little strength you have, you turn your head and watch as the cats tear through carpet and upholstery, knock over vases and dishes and lamps, claw at the walls. It's going to take forever to clean this up, you think. Maybe you'll tackle it all again later, right after you take a short nap. With an annoyed sigh, you breathe your last breath. Double trouble. Oh boy! Alright, so do something alone. Like... watch a movie. You're not tired enough for a nap, but you're too lazy to get started on any of your chores. So you decide to watch a movie. You turn this up maybe just a little more. Yeah. You get dressed in your favorite pajamas, make some popcorn with an obscene amount of butter, and head over to your armchair. Check Taffy to see if he makes a clone of himself. Yeah, he's good. I discovered that the cat is already napping in it. You frown a little in thought. Your couch isn't the best angle for optimal TV viewing pleasure. You don't feel like pushing it around and having to put it back later. The only options you have left are to sit on the floor, or move the cat and reclaim your home. It's like, sit on the floor. You decide to sit on the floor. The cat's a guest after all, and you pride yourself on being a good host if nothing else. Well, at least you would if you'd ever had any guests over before. You grab a blanket and some pillows and make a comfy nest in front of the chair. You pop in a random movie from your collection and can tell instantly that it's one of your favorite horror films. You've seen it a few times already, but it never fails to get your blood pumping. A few minutes in and you're already invested, getting reacquainted with the story and characters. The scares won't come until later, but for some reason you feel like something is watching you from behind. No, it's probably nothing, but you feel compelled to check it anyway. You peek over your shoulder. Ah! Only to jump off your skin, tossing a few pieces of popcorn out of the bowl in your lap. The cat is awake and looking right at you. You take a calming breath, recovering from your heart nearly lurching out of your chest and immediately feel foolish. It's just a cat, of course. It was so quiet you forgotten it was right behind you, even though it's the whole reason you're sitting on the floor in the first place. You shakily pick up the remote, intending to rewind some of the parts you missed. However, as soon as you press the rewind button, the TV shuts off. You blink, confused. Nothing else turns off. The kitchen's dimmed light was still on. The digital clock was still glowing, and the movie player was still rewinding. The power clearly didn't go out, so why? You feel a chill run down your spine as you catch the cat's reflection in the dark TV screen. It's still looking at you? That stare's silly. It's kind of their thing, right? And you're a new addition in its life. Of course, it's going to study you closely to see if you're trustworthy. And as you eventually reassure yourself, you turn the TV back on. What? The TV's on, but the movie isn't what's playing on screen. Ooh. It's you? You watch yourself frown on screen as you feel your brow furrow in tandem. It's like footage of you in real time, like you're being recorded. You feel the familiar sensation of your mind focusing on small details to avoid the bigger picture of your current situation. Avoiding the questions of how this is happening, of who or what is doing this, and why. Suddenly your mirrored self smiles and waves at you. Hi. Well, it's home. You don't wave back, too stunned to move. The you on the screen doesn't seem to mind, though. It then stands up. It walks out of frame. And... Ah! A terrified yell rips out of your mouth before you can think to stifle it. On the screen, in the chair, it's the cat. But it's wrong. Ooh. It's become a large, swollen mass of black fur. Its twitching pulse. It's out of rhythm, with its slow, almost methodical breaths. Its mouth is a yawning entrance to a large abyss, framed by a set of teeth that looks very, very sharp. Is Taffy on the chair? No, he's on my feet. Glowing eyes bulge all over its body. It's still looking at you. It doesn't even acknowledge your on-screen persona as they walk back into frame and pet it almost lovingly. Then, the you inside the TV touches one of the cat's fangs. You flinch at a sudden sharp pain in your palm. You look down and sure enough, your hand is bleeding. You're not particularly afraid of blood, but for some reason the sight of it leaking out of you sends another chill down your back. A thought, clear and terrible, flashes across your mind. It's not just at the mutilated cat in the TV that's watching you. Is it? Don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you, don't look behind you. Don't look behind you. You watch helplessly as your on-screen self smiles and nods at you, almost encouragingly. They stand in front of the cat's gaping jaws. They look into the dark depths. And as you're torn between the horrifying realization of what's about to happen, and the gripping wonder of what they see looking back at them from that deep, deep darkness, they jump in. The darkness is a sudden presence all around you, pressing in, holding you down. And yet you somehow almost feel weightless. You can't tell if you're falling, but it doesn't feel like you're laying down or standing either. You feel warm. You feel cold. You feel everything. You feel nothing. You feel nothing. Silent film. The cat is a dick for messing with us. Well, he's likely just some crazy eldritch abomination. He's probably Nyarktolep or something. Let's reclaim our chair. You square your shoulders. Sorry, kitty, but that's my spot. You pick up the cat and place it on the floor. It's clearly upset with you. When you try to pet it as an apology, it dodges your hand and scampers away. You shrug and put on a random movie before nestling into your chair. Some horror film that you love to heckle from beginning to end. Nothing but an endless string of pointless jump scares. Did the writers not know the meaning of the word subtle? Ooh. What was that? Was that the bathroom? Cat must have gotten into the medicine cabinet or knocked something over. Yeah, petty kitty. Daffy likes to be pet. Calming your thundering heart with a deep breath, you pause the movie and get up to investigate. Whoa. The cat dashes between your legs from the hall. Fleeing the scene only makes you look guiltier, you know. You're even more reluctant to see the damage now. You just want to relax and watch your bad horror movie. You go to the bathroom and turn on the light. Just you thought, all the stuff in your medicine cabinet is scattered on the tiles. You sigh. At least none of it looks broken or damaged. You crouch down to pick everything up. Did the door just close? Did you bump it when you crouched down, or... Oh, well, at least the cat can't come in and make more of a mess this way. Huh? The lights? Didn't you just replace the bulbs? They weren't faulty, were they? You never remember to hold on to your receipts for situations like these. You doubt you'll be able to get your money back. You stand up. You shake out the pain in your knees from crouching and open your medicine cabinet. Carefully you place everything back where they belong, making sure nothing is missing. You close the cabinet door. What? You jump back, slamming against the wall, covering your mouth. You look back at the mirror on the medicine cabinet door and you see... nothing. Nothing? What the hell? Something was... Yeah, you missed the jump scare. You know you saw something just now. You know you did, right? Yeah, you definitely saw something. Oh. Wah! You rush out of the bathroom and slam the door behind you without looking. You enter the hall and... no. Oh. No, 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 no. You shoot yourself with your arms and... nothing. Nothing again. You peek through your fingers and see... it's your usual hallway. You don't feel very good. You need to sit down. You have to make your way back to the dark living room. Try not to overwhelm your senses any more than you already have. Maybe you should watch something a little more lighthearted. Or just lie down instead. You don't know. A little hard to think. You just need to sit down. Slightly forward, you reach your chair, but... oh! Cat. It's nothing. Nothing at all. It's a cat. Sitting back in your chair again, looking up at you curiously. But it's enough. Your heart lurches so harshly out of a mixture of fear and anticipation that it completely gives out. Your eyes roll up into your skull. You feel yourself falling back. You're dead before you even hit the ground. Ending 4. Real subtle. Oh boy. Alright. Next. We'll go take a nap. You're a little tired from the events of today. Making real life-changing choices like admitting to the responsibility of caring for another living creature really wears you out. Hey, cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I meow 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 and I meow meow meow. You head to your room and get dressed in your pajamas before you decide to grab a glass of water from the kitchen. Head back to your room, ready for a much-needed nap. Whoa. Only for the cat to race past you through the open door and jump on the middle of the bed. Takes the time kneading at the sheets before settling down and closing its eyes. Oh, it's a little kitty. Just a little guy. It's fine. He's just a little guy. Well, that was fast. Would I give this cat a kiss? Absolutely. And then it would probably bite my face off, but it'd be totally worth it. You frown thoughtfully. Now that your mind's on it, you find yourself really craving a nap in your own bed. No way you're settling for sleeping on the couch. Certainly not the armchair. Which means you should... Domo hectic, welcome, how you doing? We got a cat. Move, kitty. You tentatively nudge the cat in an attempt to make it move on its own. It doesn't budge in the slightest. Keep trying. Push a little more firmly. Oop. It's like, how dare you move, cat? The cat sounds annoyed with you. Yeah. The cat opens one yellow eye and slides it up to look at you. I don't care if you're pissed off, kitty. Is its voice a little deeper than before? Like, just having a ciggy before bed? Fair enough, you do you, fam. Move the cat. You move forward. Oh. Loud kitty. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I gotta be careful. You don't want to get the ashes on your bed. That's how spontaneous combustion happens. You're thrown back by some invisible force and crash into the dresser before falling into the ground. Ugh. When knocked out of you, you look up in a daze. You don't quite comprehend what it is you're seeing. A strong, swirling wind has picked up, throwing items all over the place, as if a miniature hurricane had just taken form in your room. Double Pika, welcome, how you doing? Yeah, fire hazard. I'm doing good, how you doing? I took home a cat, and it's trying to kill me. Right there in the center of it all is the cat, hovering in the air above the bed. Its eyes open, glowing like molten lava. Yeah, just like, bad kitty, stop creating tornadoes! Oh. Oh, Angie kitty. Oh. You watch as a vortex rips open in the center of your bed, and panic as the swirling wind turns into a vacuum, dragging you towards the bed. Ugh. Your nails catch and tear as you desperately try to cling to the carpet, the floorboards, any and every piece of furniture within your reach. Bloody fingers slipping clumsily on every surface. But there's nothing you can do. As you touch the vortex, your body starts to disintegrate. Oh boy, the cat made a black hole. You like having a smoke in bed after doing certain activities? Okay, fair. You're good. Finally found a solution to have a fixed focus mode on the Sony camera? Cool. Tiny particles of your body separating and floating into nothing. The last thing you see is the cat landing nimbly on the bed and kneading at your sheets before it curls up and falls back asleep. Do not disturb. Okay, fine. I won't disturb the kitty. You shrug. What's the harm in sharing the bed, right? You both have had a long day after all. You try to carefully avoid jostling the cat as you lay down, but it immediately scoots over and curls against you anyway. It's like, not really, it's 4 a.m. It's been 3 hours. You've been at this for 3 hours? My goodness. Well, I guess just eat when you're ready. You smile. Sweet dreams. Yeah, Delmo Forever Flame. Welcome. How you doing? Yeah, we got Kitty. How did I find this game? Well, when I went on my trip, it's like someone was talking about like obscure games, spooky games, and this was one of them, and I was like, ah, yeah, I'll try it. You fell for the this should be simple to solve. Ah, yes, I've fallen for that before. Like, this will only take 5 minutes. 2 hours later. Did some more writing? Ooh, cool. What is he writing so far? You feel like you slept for a long time. You feel a warm weight on your back. You don't see the... Oh, mystery solved then. You feel comfortable? You consider getting up, but as soon as the thought enters your mind fills with static and a deep sense of disapproval? Not yet then? Okay. The cat jostled out by your attempt at movement kneads painfully at your back before settling down and falling back asleep. You fall back into slumber too. World's longest noise fanfic, mostly because there aren't any. Oh yeah, I remember now. I think you mentioned it before. It's night. You want to get up. Hi, Daffy. Ugh. Claws deep into your back like a warning. Tomorrow then, right? Of course, Taffy now wants to be on my lap. It's morning. You'll be late for work. But the cat doesn't budge. You won't even try to get up this time. You just close your eyes and drift off again. They gotta make room for the cat. It's the next day. Since the last several days. Or has it been weeks? Or longer? You're not quite sure. You're hungry. You don't know how long you've been laying down. You feel sore in your back, but also your stomach, your arms, your face. Don't headbutt the mic. Everywhere. Can't remember your last meal. Last time you drank anything. You've been sleeping all this time. But you feel exhausted. More tired than you think you ever felt in your life. Feels like a giant hand is pressing you into the bed. Can't remember the last time you even considered moving. But somehow you know that you need to go back to sleep anyway. Everything will be fine if you just go back to sleep. You think you're hallucinating when the cat finally stirs. It stretches languidly before hopping off your back. Yeah, I'll hydrate. Yeah, cat ate your life force. Happens to the best of us. You know how it be. Taffy bites me sometimes if I'm. It's like we'll be cuddling in bed, but I'm like I gotta move, and he'll literally bite my arm, be like, no, how dare you? He'll blow my nose too. Okay. Hear his feet padding through your still open bedroom door. Its steps fading down the hall. You don't open your eyes. You don't move. You're afraid you don't remember how. So if the cat kills you in the house, how's it gonna get out of the house? No, it's just gonna stay there forever. Or maybe I'll break a window. You move the cat from you or the bed if need be. You're afraid that the static will return if you try. But if you eventually do try. You try to prop yourself up on your arm. It's thinner than you've ever seen it. Thinner than you think should be possible. Ooh. The arm snaps under the weight of your body and crumbles to dust on the bed sheets. It doesn't hurt in the slightest. As if even your nerves have dried up and become as useless as you feel in general. Just how long have you been lying in bed? You don't have much time to think about it. Your failed attempt at sitting up sends you tumbling over the side of the bed like a rag doll. But you think you're properly closer to being a ceramic doll, as your body shatters instantly upon impact with the floor. Crunch. Your head rolls towards the door, letting you watch as the rest of your shroom body parts crack and crumble. You know, just a little crumble. A little crumbly. And turns to broken ruin as your consciousness begins to fade. The cat strolls into view then, poking and prodding at the remains of your brittle limbs. Bad kitty, you try to say. But you think your jaw might have snapped off earlier as well. Almost as if sensing your attention, the cat walks over to you. Well, your head at least. You watch with your final conscious seconds as it lays down, curling its body around you. Yeah, that's unfortunate. It feels warm. Well, maybe another nap wouldn't hurt. Yeah, this is what happens when you don't give the cat a little salami as a treat. Yeah, just a cat nap. Alright, Happy, stop. Like, I'm having issues with my own cat while dealing with this cat. We'll do something with the cat now. We will pet the kitty. Not every day you have access to a cute, fluffy animal. What else is there to do but pet it to your heart's content? You sit on the floor in your living room and click your tongue to call the cat over. The cat dashes over to you, immediately climbing into your lap. Poor thing, you just want some attention, don't you? Alright. You carefully pet the cat. A rub behind an ear, a scratch under the chin, I say while doing this to Taffy. A smooth sweep along the back. He's very hairy. Good. You keep petting the cat in your lap, enjoying this bonding time together. The cat starts to get restless after a while. Keep petting. You're not quite ready to stop. You feel so calm. Repetitive action, soothing your usually overworking mind. You keep petting. The cat leans away from your next head pat to try to get out of your lap. When you scratch under the cat's chin, it bites at your fingers. You may be bleeding, but it barely hurts. More like a warning than anything. The cat struggles in your hold. It's watching you closely. Keep petting. Keep petting the cat. Oh. Ooh. The cat bites off your fingers. Well, I tore the whole thing. Do I do this to Taffy? Absolutely. It hurts. You're definitely bleeding now, but for some reason, you just can't stop. You don't know what it is. Its fur is so much softer than you realized. You think that it would be shining in the faint light of your living room, but it's as if the darkness of the cat's black coat is sucking in all the illumination around it. Boy, did Taffy bites you? Yeah, that's happened. Renegade completely null. You're drawn to it, like you're somehow holding a deep, dark abyss right in your lap. Seems calmer now, munching on your severed finger. The stump between your thumb and middle finger is leaking, but you keep petting. You fret that your blood will ruin its fur, but the cat no longer seems to mind. Okay, I'll hydrate again. And blow my nose too. There we go. Time passes. It's dark out now. Soft as the fur is, your palm has started to feel raw and damp under the constant friction from your petting. You think faintly that maybe you've had enough. You start to lift your hand from the cat, when in a flash. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. Your entire hand is separated from your wrist. It flops onto your lap beside the cat. The cat's claws on its front right paw glisten with crimson liquid. You don't feel it for a moment, but your body tenses, anticipating the pain as you blankly watch the cat lick at the bloody palm in your severed hand. It hurts. It really, really hurts. Then the cat looks up at you and you feel compelled to keep petting. You're reluctant. You're also afraid of what will happen if you don't heed the call. What will you lose next if you try to resist again? You were hurt for your insistent petting earlier, and now you've been hurt for trying to stop? It defies all logic. That's what scares you. There's no reasoning with such fickle whims. You feebly tried to raise your uninjured hand to pet the cat, but it stiffens, golden eyes glinting dangerously. Well, all right then. You raise your bleeding stump and resume your petting to the best of your ability. It's like, no, pet me with the bleeding stump. You pet. And you bleed. You pet. And you bleed. You pet. And you bleed. You pet. You. Personal boundaries. Alright. Feed the kitty. The cat looks hungry, so you decide to feed it. You're regretting not shopping for food earlier, as you don't have much left. Grocery shopping day is tomorrow, after all. You get to the kitchen and click your tongue, ensuring the cat follows after you. Taffy, did you just fart? Oh, you're stinky. That's it. You're done. Goodbye, kitty. You're stinky. Mwah. Stinky. This man is full of gas. Now I gotta clear out the cat hair. It leaps nimbly onto the kitchen counter and watches as you search for meal options. Let's see. You find some things you expect. Can of tuna. Some leftover meatloaf in the fridge. And... Huh? What's that? You realize there's a tightly sealed Tupperware on the bottom shelf of the fridge. You don't recognize it. A foul odor is leaking from the container. Whatever's inside it can't be safe for human consumption. It's like he brought his own lunch. But the cat seems excited about it, practically salivating over it. Still, you're the caretaker here. You're the one who needs to decide what's best to feed a hungry cat. So you'll feed it. Tuna! Cats like fish, right? Shrugging, you take out the tuna for the cat and the meatloaf for yourself. You put the frankly ominous container back in the fridge. Cat looks a little disappointed. Tough. You'll need to dispose of that weird whatever it is later. You open the tuna and spoon it onto a small saucer. You put the saucer on the kitchen counter next to Cat. You don't think you should be encouraging it to eat up there, but you figure it'll make up for electing not to feed the toxic goop it wanted. Cat looks like it finds the tuna acceptable. You'll take it. Eat up, kitty! As the cat digs into its meal, you go about heating up the meatloaf in the microwave. While saving the time, you hear... You turn and see the plate is completely empty. Whoa, that was quick. You need to pace yourself. Oh no, he's got the hiccups. What the? Bubbles? You watch baffled as the kid continues to hiccup, causing little bubbles to float out of its mouth? Okay. That's okay. You can process this. It's not completely out of the realm of what's possible, right? Right. Let's not to think too hard about it. Soon enough, the room is full of the floating bubbles. The cat releases a final, tiny bubble before yawning and laying down right there on the counter. Well, glad you enjoyed it. The bubbles haven't left the room or popped. They seem to be pretty resilient. I've had unpoppable bubbles before. They're kind of messy. Wait, what? What's that? As one of the bubbles floats closer to you, you see that there's actually something inside it. A tiny, furry fish? This is just getting weirder and weirder. Still, you can't help but marvel at the impossible wonder in front of you. You lift a hand, extend a finger towards the bubble, carefully press against the surface. Ooh. Piranha? The little fish inside lashes out, viciously sinking tiny fangs into your finger. It doesn't really hurt that much at first, but then... ow! What? Pain starts to climb from your finger to the rest of your hands, past your wrists. Could it be some kind of venom? You fling your arm around in an attempt to dislodge the fish, but... Uh-oh. Ah! You accidentally knock your arm into several of the bubbles floating around. More tiny ravenous fish lash onto your flesh. You stumble back out of pain and a sudden bout of dizziness, only to bump into more bubbles. I like bubbles, just not these bubbles. More fish digging their teeth into your back. Ugh, it hurts. You're getting dizzy. You've got to get out. You deliriously try to stumble out of the kitchen, but the entire room is filled with the deadly bubbles. By the time you collapse to the ground, you're absolutely covered in tiny, angry, biting fish. Your legs, your torso, your arms, your face. The pain is unbearable. You can feel it in your skin, in your teeth, in your eyes, in your hair, and it's so consuming you can't even feel yourself convulsing or crying. You don't black out. Your eyes are still rolling up into your skull when you gasp out your last breath. Fish out of water. Alright. Have some meatloaf. You get the feeling the cat won't be too impressed with anything that comes out of a can. And you're not about to feed it whatever the heck that toxic-looking sludge is. So it's settled. A tuna fish sandwich for you, and leftover meatloaf for your feline guest. You ignore the cat's disappointing meows as you put the weird container back in the fridge to dispose of later. You warm up the meatloaf in the microwave. Ah, that's loud. It's loud like a real microwave. You place the now warm meatloaf on a saucer next to cat on the counter. You don't think you should be encouraged to get to eat up there, but you figure it'll make up for electing not to feed it the toxic goop it wanted. It looks like it finds the meatloaf interesting. Works for you. Eat up, kitty. As the cat digs into its meal, you go about searching for some bread for your tuna sandwich. You're so distracted by your search that you only just barely hear... Eh? Huh? You turn around and see the meatloaf fully has one, maybe two bites taken out of it. But more alarmingly, there seems to be a red trail of something leading away from where the cat had been sitting, off the edge of the counter towards the living room. Is that blood? Oh. You jump at a strange sound coming from around the corner. Further into your apartment, you attempt to steel your nerves. Taking a deep breath, you walk around the corner to head into the living room. Oh. You step in something warm and wet and red. You resist the urge to vomit and step away from the trail of... You follow the trail into the living room and see that it leads into the hall. More gurgle noises. It's getting louder. It's definitely in the hall. Yeah, I got you. Spooky. You feel like you can hear your heartbeat. You hope whatever is in the hall can't. Your body shakes as you feel yourself step forward. And forward. And forward. And forward. You peek around the corner. Nothing. There's nothing there. What? You walk further into the hall and see that the trail leads all the way down the end of it, but there's nothing there. You don't quite feel relief, but at least... Oh. You feel something wet and warm drip onto your cheek. Something very warm. You wipe your shaking hand across it and pull it back to see your fingers covered in something. Oh. You look up and see what can only be described as meat. Oh boy, is this Song of Saya? The entire ceiling of the hallway is covered in a thick, undulating, writhing layer of pulsing meat. At its center is a single glowing eyeball, frantically rolling around in every direction. Until it lands squarely on you. You try to take a step back, desperate to escape the hallway, to escape this thing, but... Before you can even scream, meaty tendrils shoot out and grab you. No! Let me go! They pull you up, and up, into a pair of slowly opening jaws. And then... Chomp. Leftovers. It's like, man liked the meatloaf so much he turned into one. Sadly, no association with the singer. Alright, have the mystery food. Is this really a good idea? Fine, I guess if this is what you want. You open the container, and... You just barely manage to keep from throwing up. But just barely. The stench is overwhelming. Yeah, give me a minute. You hazard a look at the contents of the container, but... I honestly can't understand what you're supposed to be looking at. Everything is just mashed together. What exactly everything consists of is a mystery you're more than happy to keep unsolved. Different shapes, different sizes, different textures. Not the color, though. All of it is the same color. The most unfortunate looking shade of gray you've ever seen. Tinted with a nauseatingly wet green film over the top. Ugh. Am I supposed to warm it up, or I don't really know how to serve it? Any utensil or plate that touches it is getting thrown out immediately. No exceptions. Yeah, they're going to be scrubbed in soap and hot water to within an inch of their lives after this. You decided against putting this crap in your microwave. You don't taste or smell any better warm. I don't want to hold it anymore. You shake your head and practically toss a container next to the cat on the counter. The cat enthusiastically dives for the toxic-looking sludge, sniffing it as if savoring the scent. You turn to the fridge and close it. You've lost your appetite. You're about to head to the bathroom to wash your hands for the next hour or so when... Oh. Ow! A sharp pain on your foot causes you to stumble. You catch yourself on the kitchen sink and look down to see that the tip of your sock is... red. And the red is still slowly spreading to the rest of your sock. Are you bleeding? You quickly reach down and pull your sock to see the damage. Oh god! His whole toe. Your middle toe is... gone! It's just gone! Just a stump is left in its place, steadily leaking blood onto the floor. You quickly step back as if it would help you get away from what you were seeing. The blood trail simply follows your movements. 911. You have to call 911. The phone, where's the... Wash your tongue is... What? What's happening? What's happening to me? You slowly look over to find the cat is still eating. Leo bothered by your suffering. Not bothering to try and stop the blood from dribbling out of your mouth. You watching in a daze as the cat happily chews at a gross piece of... Wait, that's... You look more closely at the mystery food in the cat's jaws. Looks vaguely familiar. It looks like... a tongue? Before you can even think to do anything to stop it, the cat dives into the container again. And bites into a piece that looks like a... You collapse to the floor, clutching your torso. You writhe around on the blood-streaked tiles, crying. Something inside you just... Blood pours out from deep within you. Whatever that was felt important. Probably a kidney. And now it's probably gone too. It hurts. It hurts so much. Stop. Please. You weakly try to reach up to the cat on the counter above you. Your vision blurs from the effort, from the pain, from your tears, from... Your eyes. Your eyes. You fall limply back to the floor. You're leaking blood all over. From all over. Your foot, your mouth, your insides, your eye sockets. You could feel your life fading away too. That's fine. If it means not feeling the pain of losing another part of you, then... Hopefully the cat will take its time eating your eyeballs. And give you time to just... You are what you eat. Oh boy, how many endings? We got 11 endings so far? Oh boy. Still got quite a ways to go. Yeah, do something with the cat. We will play with the cat. Poor thing was probably bored stiff sitting in that old box all day. Just watching crowds of people walking by them. Ignoring them. You can't just leave them alone as soon as you're home. A little interspecies socializing won't kill you, right? Aw, you just want some attention, don't you? You want to play, huh? Okay, then. What to play, though? Yarn? If every movie and cartoon involving cats that you've watched since childhood is to be believed, you can deduce with almost absolute certainty that cats freaking love yarn. Probably. You unearth some from an old box in the hallway closet that's filled with knickknacks from various abandoned hobbies. They're just handing the ball of bright red yarn over to the cat and supervising from the side. But that would defeat the idea of playing together, wouldn't it? You cut off a decent length of string from the ball of yarn and go back to the living room. The cat is resting on the floor. It's not asleep. When it looks up as you enter the living room, you feel like it could doze off right then and there. You'll fix that. You smirk a little, confident with your surprise. Let the piece of yarn dangle just above the floor, pitch between your thumb and index finger. The sudden shift in the cat's demeanor makes your heart start to beat a little faster. Its posture has barely changed at all. Just a subtle shift of the head and ears. A slight tension in the shoulders. A sharpness in the gaze as it locks onto the yarn dangling an inch above the floor. The cat could still pass as being almost relaxed, calm. And yet the air is thick with its eagerness to lunge forward, waiting for the right moment to strike. You feel like you've just witnessed the awakening of the perfect predator. You're almost afraid of what will happen once you make the first move. But it will be you who makes the first move. You take a deep breath. Relax your shoulders. And... Yoink! The cat has lunged the instant you wiggle the yarn, but you're faster. Glee misses as you flick your wrist, making the yarn recoil out of its reach like a terrified snake. Having overshot the landing in its eagerness, the cat stumbles and looks around as if shocked at its failed attack. You generously click your tongue to help reorient it. The cat whips its head around at the sound. You're slightly taken aback at the intensity of its stare on the yarn. But you persist. You wiggle the yarn again, encouragingly. And yes, maybe a little tauntingly. This time the cat anticipates the yarn's upward dodge and leaps up to swipe at it. But you're already one step ahead, puppeting the yarn to dance gracefully out of reach once more. Noble Jasmine, welcome! Why are we not taking the cat home? Well, apparently it's some kind of eldritch abomination. It's like, so far, we fed it meatloaf, and it turned into a meat monster that ate us. We've had it multiply little cats bubbling out of its body that then ate us. We've had it burp up little bubbles that had piranhas in it that ate us. Yeah, if evil, why friendship? Yeah, no, it's just a cat. We're just playing with the... Oh, jeez. Just playing a little, with the little string, that's all. Yeah, come on. You could do it. It's a little condescending, but you can't seem to help it. For some reason, it feels a little good knocking the feline down a peg or two. At least it seems to be enjoying itself. You hope, anyway. Keep going. The cat's movements have gotten more aggressive. Must be getting frustrated. You could swear it nearly took a shot at your eye last time. Jumped so high and erratically. You've been keeping the yawn and constant motion, afraid to slow down. Wrist's starting to get tired. Cat doesn't seem to be losing any energy, though. It's like it's getting faster and faster. Oop! Your wrist finally cramps sharply. Make you lose control of the arm's motion as the tip of it brushes lightly against your stomach. Ooh. Ugh. Pain rips slow across your torso. Into your torso. Ugh. Blood pours out of your mouth. In a daze, you look down and see see red blooming slowly along the bottom of your shirt, on the tears in the fabric. Yeah, that's what we get for teasing the kitty. Ah! You watch as long, thick ropes of something pour out from under your shirt into a bloody heap on the floor at your feet. A single red streaked rope still hangs from you, connecting you to all that mess. Are those your... Yeah, worship thy kitty overlord. You crumple to the ground and topple onto your side. Your vision has gone blurry, but you can just make out the shape of something small and a deep, inky black as it walks over and inspects your... Oh god, they're your intestines! Before it starts to giddily roll around the mass of your bloody insides next to you. Darkness falls over you. The cat sounds happy. Nonsensically, you wonder where the yarn has gone, but there's really no need to worry about it. The cat seems content with the next best thing. Well, you know, I'm trying not to die. End of your rope. Yeah, really at the end of our rope, huh? Blow my nose. There we go. Huh? Oh god. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just so tired of everything. Not you. Never you. I couldn't be the person you deserve. Couldn't ever hope to be. You were so amazing. Smart and talented and independent. You shined. But in comparison, damn it. So stupid. So worthless. But when it approached me, it didn't tell me that it wanted me. It needed me. Maybe that's what I wanted all along. Wanting could be so fleeting, but to be needed? There was nothing I wouldn't give to have someone tell me that I mattered to them. That they needed me. You don't need me! You're walking. Right, of course. And it's like, the weather is absolutely perfect today. That's a good sign, right? Maybe your luck is finally starting to turn around. Yeah, this is all the same. Take the cat home. Does anyone hear that breathing? It sounds like breathing. But yeah, Domo Spicy, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, it's like, walk towards these nuts. We're walking towards these cat. Let's see. We have not cleaned the cat yet. Upon giving it a second look, realize the cat isn't exactly clean. But yeah, welcome. How you doing? We got Kitty. Kitty who slashes our stomach open and plays with our intestines. It's pretty great. Not surprising, since up until you brought it home, it's been sitting in a dirty old box, an alley full of scattered garbage, for who knows how long. Yeah, you know, just cat things. You've heard that cats can keep themselves clean. Maybe this is one of those times that a little human help couldn't hurt? You head into the bathroom and set things up, trying to remember how to wash a cat. You're definitely no expert, but you think the best way to get a cat clean would be... quickly. Yeah, the cat's gonna hate this and kill us for it. Cats don't like water, you think. So a quick wash would be the way to go, right? You decide to do everything at once, filling the tub deep with soapy, bubbly warm water. A quick dunk here, a short scrubbing there, then rinse and dry. The cat won't even know what hit it before everything's over. Open the door and click your tongue, beckoning the cat inside. It quickly scampers in, curious of the newly available setting. You close the door so it won't be able to run out and make a mess of the apartment. Stilling yourself, you roll up your sleeves. You lift up the cat and carry it over to the tub. Your plan's already compromised as the cat starts to struggle in your hold. You probably should have held it so it couldn't see the water. Ow! Ow! Hey! It scratches at your arms. You knew it wouldn't be happy about the water, but you didn't think it'd be at this irate. Still as mad as it will be at you for a little while. You know this is for the best. A deep scratch to your bicep startles you, making you drop the cat into the tub. Oh no. Shoot, kitty! The cat doesn't reemerge hissing and yelling like you thought it would. Oh, Domo little gator, welcome, how you doing? Yeah, we accidentally dropped the cat in the tub. Oops. You rush over, dug your arms beneath the soapy surface, searching for the cat. Whip up its head and blacked out, it would drown! But you don't find the cat. Instead, what the? You watch as the water starts to darken. At first you think it's just stirred from the cat and feel a little vindicated about your decision, but the water darkens further and further. Until it looks like you filled your tub with black ink rather than water. Even the soap bubbles are a translucent obsidian now. This is something not right. But as soon as you have this thought, whoa! You just felt something tugging you from under the water. You try to pull away, but your arm won't budge. Whatever it is, it pulls you closer toward the water. You try to use your free hand to release the drain plug. When you dug your other arm in the water without thinking, it's grabbed too. Both hands restrained, you can't get any leverage to force yourself free. Yeah, it's a gremlin. It already multiplied at one point. Help! You're dragged into the murky waters of the tub. You're dragged down, and down, and down further still. Much farther than it should be possible for your bathtub. You can't breathe. You think you can't see either, but as you draw your final breath, you think you see what has been pulling you down. Something resting deep, deep down below. Something waiting for you. 14, Bath Hater. Wait, did I miss an ending? I might have. Yeah, I missed an ending. Whoop, let me go back. I think there might have been more toys to play with. Yeah, there was more things to play with. Oops. My bad. Laser pointer. Cats are curious creatures by nature. They're also natural hunters, sort of. Why not pass the time by letting the cat hunt after something it'll never quite understand? That sounds a little mean when you think of it like that. It's not like the cat will know anyway. Ignorance is bliss, or so they say. So you dig out your old laser pointer from your long-gone dreaded days of group presentations in school. You flip it on and see that even after all this time, the batteries still work. Get a little kick out of aiming at a mirror hanging in the living room so it reflects off the glass, making a little red dot appear on your knee. The cat cautiously walks over, stopping every few steps to cast a look of suspicion at you. When it finally reaches you, it lightly presses a paw to your knee, like it's trying to catch the dot of red light as casually as possible. Huh. You may have told back a chuckle. Not that it really matters. The cat isn't paying attention to you at all, entirely focused on the light now resting on top of its paw. Hee hee. You move the light a little higher above your knee. The cat reacts immediately, trying to pin the light down. But in the next second, you've already moved it to the floor. Cat jerkily follows, having to move a more energetic pounce when you shift the red dot. Over here, over there, and over there. By the couch. On the couch. I like This game's free, so you know, and it's like, it has like whole ass animations and everything. Hee hee hee. The cat might be ignoring you, but you're certainly enjoying yourself. It's been a while since you've laughed this much. You're laughing so much, in fact, that you accidentally shift the red dot onto a lamp beside the couch. In its haste to get the light, the cat leaps onto the lamp, sending them both to the ground. Yeah, do not disturb the cat. Oh my gosh. The cat is sitting in the middle of the former lamp's broken shards, back hunched, its head whipping around back and forth as if in a panic. We quickly turn off the laser pointer and rush over. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you hurt? You reach down to pick up the cat and check for any injuries when... Ooh. Ow, hey! The cat swipes at you, claws extended, backs up and twitches away, making frantic half-turns in various directions if looking for something. Or waiting for something to appear. Ow, jeez, that really hurt, you know. You hold the hand with the scratch close to your chest. It's bleeding, but it's not too big. You're more annoyed than anything, but... Immediately your annoyance starts to bleed into concern. Watch in shock as the cat starts to run around tearing at the carpet, the sofa, your armchair. You want to stop, but you're afraid of getting in the middle of its rampage. You consider calling a pet vet for advice on how to calm it down, but for some reason... You feel like that wouldn't be a good idea. What happened to you, is it? Oh. An idea comes to you, or rather, a realization? You grasp the laser pointer, aiming it safely away towards the floor in the middle of the living room, thinking, hoping, that the cat would calm down if it found what it was looking for. You turn the laser pointer. The cat's reaction is immediate. Ooh. You screwed up. In the span of mere seconds, you watch as the cat spies the red dot from its perch on the shredded armchair. Leaps high into the air. Changes in the air. And slams down on the dot on the floor with a weight and force that shakes the whole apartment. Maybe even the whole building. You wonder dazedly how none of the other tenants have rushed over to complain about the noise. As you stare at the sight in front of you, the cat is somehow grown in size. Eyes bulging and glowing. Tail thrashing. Teeth enlarged, bared, and covered alarmingly in a bubbled froth. Oh no, it's got rabies! Its giant claws rip and shred through the carpet, through the floor tiles, and even below them. Y'all stretch, ravenously try to get at the red dot. Your hands are shaking. You don't know what to do. You feel trapped. You have to get away. Get it away from you. You slowly back up towards the door. The light moves with you. Why couldn't you have just set it on, like, the wall or something and let it just paw at the wall? You stupid. Thankfully, you flick the light away. This way and that, the cat's stampeding after it. So fast! Smashing through the TV, breaking the couch in the half. Too fast! Bulldozing through the hall into the wall into the hallway. Okay, broke the wall, never mind. Whoops. A chance. You turn, intending to bolt out the door and never come back, but in your haste, you forget something. You forget several things. You forget the laser pointer, gripped like a lifeline in your hands. You forget the mirror, still miraculously hanging in the wall, next to the hallway. The laser reflecting off of it, putting a small, glowing red dot on the back of your head. As you reach the door, you forget that it's locked. Stupid, you should have dropped it and ran. You don't even have the chance to turn around before the cat lunges all the way across the room at you. Ow. You're torn to shreds before you can even blink. Targeted. Oops. Don't worry, I'm sure out of these 40 endings, one of them I survive. Right? Alright, hide and seek. What about hide and seek? You're not quite sure how this is going to work. Can a cat even understand the concept of a game? Can a cat even understand, let alone one with rules like hide and seek? Here, just... You pick up the cat and turn him away from you before hiding behind the armchair. Oh, why is my nose suddenly stuffy? Okay, there we go. I got something. I'm almost certain the cat must have turned and looked while you were hiding. Out of confusion, at least, if nothing else. Huh. Regardless, a few moments later, the cat cautiously peeks around the armchair at you, eyes curious. You smile and scoop it up, holding it out in front of you. You found me! You win! Cat looks confused, but pleased at your praise. This time you put on the armchair so it can't see your hiding spot as easily. You dash over to the kitchen, hiding behind the counter. Takes a little longer this time for the cat to find you. But this time what it does, it startles you by hopping down into your lap from the countertop above. Whoa! Like, aw, good kitty. You found me again! Okay, you win, you win. Rewarded with little scratches behind the ear and under the chin when it leans into your touch. Okay, why don't you give it a try? You go and stand in the middle of the living room. The cat following you. You make a show of covering your eyes and turning around. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! You turn around and see the cat is gone. Huh, you sure catch on quick. It's like, oh no, he understands games. There aren't that many places available in your apartment for someone your size to hide. Without the opposable thumbs needed to open the closed doors in the hall, the cat will have its limits too. Fair game. Okay, now where to look? Living room? You look behind the couch in the armchair, then under the coffee table. Nothing. The living room is pretty sparse when it comes to furniture, after all. Kitchen? You peek around the corner, grab a chair and check on top of the fridge. You even open the cupboards along the floor just in case the cat managed to squeeze inside. Nothing. You decide that's for the best. The kitchen is for making food, not playing games. You peek around the corner into the hall. Nothing. You're not sure what you were expecting. With all the doors closed, there's nowhere in the hall for the cat to hide. You couldn't find the cat anywhere. You get a little worried when you hear a soft sound coming from the hall. You head to the hall and listen again. That sounded like it was coming from your bedroom, but you walk down the hall to your room and gingerly open the door. Ah! The cat trots out and runs around your legs and meowing insistently. It looks disappointed somehow? Perhaps in your apparently subpar seeking skills, but... Oh, come on, did I freeze again? Stop it. You have the cat into your arms and look at your bedroom door. How did you get in my room? You know the door was closed, right? It's like, was it? It's like, that's the thing about cats. It's like, they will find a way. The cat wiggles out of your hold and runs out in the hall. You follow to see it sitting in the middle of the living room. Upon seeing you, the cat promptly turns around. Guess it wants to take its turn seeking? It's like, how smart is this cat? He's a very smart boy. You're about to indulge it by hiding around the counter again when... Oh, the lights. Did the power go out? Darn it. As you wait for your eyes to adjust to the darkness, you notice the cat hasn't moved an inch. Was it scared? Hey, are you... What? For some reason, your heart starts beating faster. Yay, he's a smart cookie. You consider going over to the cat. When you do, the thought makes you feel You feel like your life is in danger. You need to hide. Now. Fuck. Um, Closet. You quietly slip into the hallway closet. The door won't close because a heavy box is now blocking after you squeeze inside. If you try to move it further, the cat might hear it. That is, if it hasn't heard you already. This won't work and you decide somewhere else. Hurry. Um, Bathroom? You quietly rush to the bathroom and... What? Why is the door locked? You freeze, realizing how much noise you just made, jostling the doorknob and hold your breath, listening. Silence coming from the living room feels heavier than before, more restless. If some miracle opened the door now, it would know exactly where you are. Not good. Shit. Bedroom. You quietly rush into the bedroom, carefully closing the door behind you. Only place to hide in your bedroom is your closet. Hide in the closet. That'll do it. It's like, forgot reading. Run. Yeah, I saw the timer. I was like, shit. You lock the door as quietly as you can before lunging into the closet and slamming the door shut. As soon as you've secured yourself inside the closet, there's a sudden shift throughout the entire apartment. As if something can sense that you're as ready as you'll ever be. As if it can sense that you're ready to be hunted. A terrible chill. A horrible chill. Runs down your spine as you realize that's what this game has become. This isn't a simple game of hide and seek anymore. This is being hunted by a predator as prey. It never really mattered where you chose to hide, did it? Oh. As if in answer to your question, you hear a loud slam on the bedroom door. You just managed to hold back from making a startled noise at the sound. Your heart rate kicks up again, making it feel hard to breathe quietly. Hard to breathe in general. Tears fill your eyes as you cover your panting mouth with your shaking hands. It knows. It knows. Crying with your hands over your mouth, trying to smother the choke sounds leaking out of you. You slide down the wall at the back of your closet into a heap on the floor. Jeez, you're too loud. You flinch harshly at the sound of the door being ripped off its hinges, followed by a loud crash against the wall on the other side of the room, like the door had been blown away. The silence that follows is almost too much to bear. You can't... A single sob escapes through your nose. Squeeze your eyes shut in defeat at how loud it sounds in the quiet of the room. Not much point in hiding it anymore anyway, is there? You instinctively put whatever energy you have left into listening for footsteps, even as you emotionally shut down. But you hear nothing. 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 Then... Something slides open the closet door. You've curled in on yourself. Knees up. Back curved forward. Head down. Mouth covered. Eyes shut tight, so tight it hurts. You don't want to look. You don't want to look. But that's what it's waiting for. It won't end you without this final act of cruelty. Of making you look at it before it takes your life. So cruel. You just want this to be over. So, you open your eyes. Hi. You see something glaring at you from the darkness beyond the closet door. It looks disappointed. Disappointment! In the moment before you draw your last breath, you almost consider apologizing for being such unworthy prey. Guess your hiding skills were just as subpar as your seeking skills. Disappointing prey. Yeah, no jump scare for that one. I thought there would be one. Alright, back to the bathtub, now that I properly finished that. No, not that one. Carefully. And check it. got a boogie that won't leave my nose. Oh, I got a cough drop. Maybe this cough drop will clear my sinuses. I don't know why my nose gets so stuffy. Welcome to the cough drop ASMR portion of the stream. You think careful is the way to go. Cats aren't always fond of water, so your dad will be a fan of an excessive amount of it. So he picked the cat up and placed it gently in the sink before turning on the water. The cat is startled, but ultimately doesn't try to run away. Nice. Happy kitty! You lather your hands with some soap and carefully give the cat a thorough half scrub, half massage. After a few minutes, you rinse the cat completely and gather it up in a blanket, drying it. Then you take a brush and carefully run it through the cat's fur. Yeah, why would the cat be mad at this? Hey, he's having a great time. Cat seems like it's in heaven as you brush it. Some hairs are sticking to you, but you don't mind. In fact, quite a lot of fur is sticking on you. You try to brush it away, but it won't come off. Guess you're up next for a bath yourself. You try to ignore the fur and finish with the cat quickly, but more hair keeps sticking to you. Your hands, your arms. Before you realize it, they're covered in fur that won't come off. It's thick enough that you try just yank it off, but... How? What? You don't get this game? It's a game where you take in a cat. What more is there than that? You weren't supposed to take in the cat, and now you're suffering the consequences of your actions. This is probably how. Yeah, becoming Bigfoot. Furry. How? What? Pain lances through the spot you tugged at. Upon closer inspection, you see that the hair is growing out of you. You could actually feel it now. Fur growing out of your back, your neck, your face, your eyes. Oh God. Your tongue. It's even growing inside your throat. As you collapse and start to choke on the thickening fur in your esophagus, the cat leans up to lap at the fur growing on your forehead. Groom your hair as thoroughly as you did for it earlier. Yeah, this cat's a tick. You'd think it'd be sweet if you weren't currently losing hair. Still, feels nice at least to be looked after and cared for in some way, even just for a little while longer. The cat's careful grooming is the last thing you feel before you're no longer able to breathe. Self-care buddies! Okay, there we go. Finally, the sinuses are loosening up. Alright, I think I did everything I could with the cat. So I think now it's time to explore what we would do without the cat. Therefore, we will not be taking the cat home this time. We will be following the instructions. Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you never take this thing home with you. You just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. You are. With rents and bills to pay for. Not to mention you need to buy food to survive, too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? You can barely afford this little outing on your day off. What to do? Oh boy, now we have new choices. Like, oh boy, more choices. Leave? think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having someone look after it if you're not willing to commit. What if it gets attached and someone tracks you down back to your home? You'll never get away. It's like, I saw that flicker. Sorry, see you around, I guess. You stand up, the cat watching your every move. You make it halfway out of the alley when the cat meows almost pitifully at you. Ignore. No, nope. I did nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for the both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Wait, what was I doing? Alright, time for the crunch. There we go. Oh boy. There we go. Woo! And all the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma. Got a little stuck in my teeth. You know that? No, cough drop. You've forgotten you still hadn't decided on what you were going to do for your day off. Thank you for the follow, Domo. Welcome. Let's go watch a movie. It's been a while since the film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater. Double Dad VA, welcome. How you doing? Am I winning? Well, does dying count as winning? But there's a showing of one such film at the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. That's okay though. You're not exactly a fan of the crowds. I don't think it ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Let's go to the old theater. Yeah, I am trying my best, thank you. That's all I got. Welcome, hope you're having a good weekend so far. You usually buy your ticket from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. It's barren of any trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s. Maybe even the 70s. But that's what you were counting on. Consider buying some popcorn. But can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. Ew. Speaking of movies, I saw the new Demon Slayer movie. It's awesome. Highly recommend it if you're a fan. Had a great weekend? You rode your motorcycle to a car meet? Ooh, nice. Yeah, of course I slay demons. I'm a hunter. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket stub. Alright, rest well, Bucky. Thanks for stopping by. You rest well. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing and is completely empty. Perfect. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on. No commercials or trailer pop up, the movie just begins. Please, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting into the premise, the doors open behind you, momentarily casting light into the room and ruining the atmosphere. You hold in a frustrated sigh. It's public entertainment after all. Please can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. Try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater. We're heading in your general direction. What? Oh no, it's the Hat Man. You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle only to sit right in front of you. There's no one else here and plenty of places to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even the stadium-like arrangement of seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. Yeah, what's your problem? You hate confrontation. You can already feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat's closing up and your body's starting to shake. He's always been more of a flighter than a fighter. But you paid for this ticket. You wanted to watch this movie for ages. Now this total stranger has ruined the entire experience for you. You're all alone in this theater. There's no one who'll help you if something goes wrong. But you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and a stranger. You stand up. Even standing and higher up on the incline, the stranger is at least a head taller than you. Sheesh. It's just 3 kids in a trench coat. It's like, at this point, it's like, alright, is it just 3 kids in a trench coat? Movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush immediately falls heavy over the theater at your movement. As if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders and force a little brass into your voice. Hey! The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden and vicious bark. But you figure they deserve it anyway. You're being a real jerk, you know that? Just what are you playing at, huh? Are you trying to piss me off? The silence that follows your words is deafening. So much so that you glance at the screen only to find that the movie has paused? Your attention is ripped back to the stranger in front of you as they shift slightly. Like a small animal, trying desperately to anticipate the moves of a predator. You don't move an inch. You don't look away. You don't dare to blink. Instead, your eyes widen as the person's head turns. Then turns some more. Then turns more beyond what should be possible, neck bones cracking, to face you directly. You can't move. Wide, glowing eyes resting above a wider, grinning mouth gaze down at you. The stranger opens their mouth, and what comes out is something impossible to comprehend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding and oddly melodic, alluring. It also snaps you out of your terrified trance, and before you know it, you're already out the door. Yeah, he's stalking us. You run through the halls of the empty theater, heading for the exit. You're like something watching you from behind, but you're afraid to look. The end is now in sight. You sprint forward and burst through the doors. You look around frantically and spot the crowded cinema across the street. People! That's what you need. Safety in numbers and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street when a sinking sensation crawls down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. Look behind you. Despite resistance, you feel your head turning to look back of its own accord, while in the middle of the street, you catch a glimpse of a grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass doors of the old theater, watching you intensely, cradling something in their arms, something familiar. But... oh god! A glimpse is all you get, as the truck speeds forward and crashes into your body. Oh no, we got isekai'd. You're killed on impact, your body splattered across the road and crushed further under the heavy tires. Poor screening arrangements. I think I probably should have saved more, because there were a lot of options. Like, there were a lot of options going on. Let me see here. I think I could leave. This is too weird. Feeling uncomfortable, you decide to leave the theater. There's still enough time left in the day to do something else. Now what? Like, did I just move me around? Maybe move to another spot? Don't risk escalating the situation further. This whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them? Shake your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction. Reluctantly pick another less perfect seat in the theater, but as you settle down, you see the person get up. Well, once again, sit down in the seat directly in front of you. Look somewhat helplessly as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all of this is. At least inform you it's like, it's just a prank, bro. There's no one else here with you. That's how you've always liked it, but yeah, but think that maybe it'd be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone in this with this weird jerk. Another spot. You move again. And again. And they sit right in front of you. You bristle, annoyed and a little humiliated. Are they just getting a kick out of this or something? You've wasted enough time with this jerk that you don't even know what's going on with the movie anymore. What if I leave now? This is too weird. Feeling comfortable, you decide to leave the theater. There's still enough time left in the day to do something else. Now what? Like, is that it? Go to a new cinema, maybe? I don't know. You don't know why, but you don't feel great about the idea of being alone right now. Sign to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or streaming. You join the long line outside the new cinema. By the time you reach the ticket booth, you just want to get inside. So you pick a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager manning the booth. The decor is chic and sleek, and the inside is bustling with people. It's not what you're usually into, but it's kind of nice not being alone. You even feel a little lonely watching families and groups of friends laughing among themselves. You get some popcorn, but the lines at concession stands are long and the prices are criminal anyway. You go through the halls. And follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. You sigh at the sight of the absolutely crowded theater. Head towards the seat only to be told by the person next to it that it's being saved for someone. Happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat annoyingly off-center to a screen. The screen's at least visible, if not a little too close, so you grit your teeth and bear it. The lights fade out, but the chatter doesn't. The rest of the audience seems content to talk through the commercials and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins. But it seems even slightly quieter as the opening scene starts to play out. You sigh out loud, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like the plague. Suddenly, the screen changes, showing the face of a black cat. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fill the room, but then the cat on the screen meows. Yeah. The sound is strange, and not all like any cat should sound. Haunting, almost melodic, and layered as if made of multiple voices of different creatures. Creatures that would probably never say. You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left a complaint to the cinema staff. But then you hear it. It's scattered and dissonant at first, but among the crowd, people start to chant along with the cat on the screen. Yeah. Eh. Eh. Yeah. Ah. 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 Oh god, I think it's getting louder. It's getting louder. Soon the entire room is chanting in perfect unison. Everyone's staring intently at the cat on the screen. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen yourself. The compulsion to stare blankly like the others isn't that strong. For now. Yeah, this is a terrible movie. Also, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye, some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. No. They're outright staring holes into you, even as they continue chanting. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval. Their scowls deepen as time goes on, as if they're getting impatient. Try to leave. This is too weird, I need to get out of here. Gathering your courage, perhaps putting your fear to use, you stand up, fully intending to leave the theater. When everything comes to an abrupt stop. All the chanting stops, even the cats chanting on the screen. You tense and risk a glance around the theater. They're all staring at you. Every single one of them. They're not moving. They're not even blinking. You swallow. Throat even suddenly dry, even though a nervous sweat completely soaks through your clothes. You highly doubt that sitting back down will fix the situation. Oops. Your legs are shaking under the audience's unnaturally intense scrutiny. Yeah, this cat just hates us. You force yourself to step forward and forward and forward until you finally reach the end of the aisle. You feel their collective gaze even worse on the staircase. All their heads have turned uncomfortably to the left to look directly at you. The screen illuminates their faces, making clear their blank scowls. They seem even more upset than they had been minutes ago. Identical frown lines sticking between their brows. You keep going. The heavy atmosphere becoming more and more oppressive with every step. You're so tense with anticipation that you fully expect someone to grab at you from behind. But no one does. You don't hear any of them even get up. You exit the theater holding your breath as the doors close behind you. You briskly walk through the halls, putting as much distance as possible between you and that theater full of people. Finally reaching the lobby, you just barely manage to catch yourself from falling to the floor as you gulp in huge gasps of air. You expect to feel relief as your breathing calms, but you feel a lingering sense of dread that only spikes once you finally notice it, as well as its source. You look up, and your stomach sinks. Oh, gee. All the people in the lobby area of the movie theater. Everyone in line at the concession stand. All of them are staring at you. And they look even angrier than the people in the theater. You don't hesitate this time. You duck your head, avoiding eye contact, and leave the cinema. You ignore the glares of everyone in the ticket booths and the lines leading to them. You make your way home. Whenever you dare to look up at someone on the way, you flinch at the blatant anger, fury, and disgust on their face. You think you start to hear the fades out of a cat's meowing behind you. Or maybe a kitten's? Doesn't matter, you just want to go home. You reach your front door and fumble with the keys, cowering from the look of pure hatred on your neighbor's face as he stares at you from his door. Finally, you get inside your apartment, lock all the locks on the door, and slide down with your back against it till you're sitting on the floor. You allow yourself a moment to breathe. Now home, your heart calms and your fear slowly bleeds from you, leaving you feeling strangely empty. You pass the kitchen, heading to your room, and slip under the covers of your bed trying to fall asleep. Maybe it's all just a bad dream. As you fall into a fitful sleep, sure to be full of nightmares and glaring eyes. You try to ignore the ever-increasing sounds of cats meowing and yowling in the distance outside your apartment. Is this thing a god? Eldritch god! Black sheep. How we doing here? Yeah, it looks like at this rate I'll probably only get like half the endings today, so I'll get 2 more endings. London. At least 2, maybe 3 if we have time, let's see. Thinking fast, you looked at the screen and began to chant in tandem with the crowd. Yeah. 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 You feel the harshness of their collective gaze start to ebb away, the air in the theater becoming lighter once again. Okay. You release air shakily, just realizing you've been holding your breath earlier. Yeah, sometimes catgirl, yeah. You feel stuck. Surely you can't just up and leave now. Not after whatever all that was. The people around you all seem fine now. No telling if they'd get aggressive at you for even moving too much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. You decide to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along. Right? Or at least start the film off? You continue to chant along with everyone. Yeah. Yeah. You start to feel lightheaded. You feel as if you could fall asleep, but your eyes don't feel heavy in the slightest. You try to look around and gauge the other's emotional state, but you can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into eye contact with the cat on screen. Yeah, 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 ah. You attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to. But your body only gets as far as tensing up for a moment before completely loosening itself again, making you lay back limply into your seat. You think you should be panicking right about now, but even your brain feels limp. Your thoughts, a vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickeningly sweet and loosely spun, like cotton candy. You like cotton candy. You think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being like cotton candy either. So, why get up and ruin that? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. Still chanting, you've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room full of complete strangers. You're not alone. Out of the corner of your eye, the person next to you starts to sink back even further into their chair. Then they sink more. Then more. Not like they're slouching or reclining, but more like they're deflating. Their skin bunches up in wrinkles like fabric as if their muscles, their bones, have started to disintegrate. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. Their mouth, still attempting to chant, falls open over a cut-off nyeh, gaping as the word ends in an awful hiss, a final weak release of air. You muse thoughtfully about whether or not you should be distressed at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, from the pile of skin and clothes next to you, you see a lump moving around. You watch the dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be, and out from the mouth crawls a tiny black kitten! Yeah, 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 ah, ah, ah. Everyone become kitty! Like cotton candy! You can hear the familiar hissing sound all around you now as the unified chants start to fade, only to be replaced with the faint mewling of kittens. Finally, your voice is the only one still chanting. Still human. Yeah, of course. All alone. Again. You don't want that. You don't want to go back to that. Not again. Not again. Please. Just then, you go completely limp. Your body feels light, but it might as well weigh several tons. Because you realize quite suddenly that you can't move. Not an inch. You can't shift your eyes to look around. You can't even breathe. But somehow, the chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. Yeah. 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 Ah. 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 Few kids come forward and perch themselves on the chairs around you, watching your sinking body, mewling as they wait for their youngest sibling to emerge. From you. Dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you, as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull. Manage to make out the silhouette of a familiar cat, perching on the seat right in front of you. Your vision finally fades, and as the same hiss of air expels itself from your mouth, the last thing you sense is something small and alive, shifting eagerly under your skin. Happy Beach Day! Wowie. But yeah, that's like, I think that was the first ending where it was like a straight up massacre. Alright, let's see. Let's go to the carnival! You spend the day at the carnival. Ferris wheel, roller coaster, Pharaoh boat. Rides you've been on before. Hoops, coin toss, balloon darts, games you've played before. Funnel cake, popcorn, cotton candy, food you've eaten before. All things you've enjoyed before. Yeah, this cat's really obsessed with us. Well, it's like he wants a spade. You're surrounded by groups of people all having fun together. Laughing, playing, eating, taking pictures, making memories. Yay, the carnival! Yippee! And then there's you. The sun hasn't started to set yet, still high in the sky, but it will soon. You start to wonder if maybe you should just go home for the day. You start to wonder if maybe you should... Yeah, when you stop your tracks. Sometimes it's like continues to sentence and I keep thinking it's new, whatever. You see something new. An attraction you've never seen before. A maze of funhouse mirrors? It sounds kind of lame, honestly. There's even a line to get in. But then, what else is there to do? Let's try the maze. You enter the maze. A few rooms in and you notice the mirrors aren't all weird. Some just show you looking back at yourself. A little bored, a lot tired, and also very, very... Maybe this was a mistake. Why do you think going into a maze of mirrors was a good idea? It was something new to experience. I can't do this today. Turn around and head back the way you came. Only to bump into a mirror. Ow, what the... Where's the exit? You try again only to find another mirror blocking your way. By the time you're all turned around, you've realized that the way you came in is completely gone. Okay, don't panic. I just have to keep going forward, right? Except for the only opening you can find and nearly trip over something on the ground. Bend down to pick it up. What's this doing here? Your hand rests a worn-looking flashlight. Curious, you flick it on. Click. Huh. The lights look very... Crap, the lights! Did the power go out, or did the attraction operator forget you were in here? Maybe both. How long have you been in here, actually? On your phone to check the time or maybe call the police. Your phone's dead. Of course. You grip the flashlight in your hand. Light a minute earlier was dim enough for you to know there's probably not that much juice left. Best reserved for a worst case scenario to feel your way out. Yeah, you can do this. You take a calming breath. Well, forward we go. Hello, darling adventurer. Said that. Welcome to the mirror maze. Would you like to know how to navigate the maze? Yes. Once again, welcome to the mirror maze. You're in a bit of a jam, but don't worry. You're in good hands. Or rather, good pause. See these little cuties here? They're doing their best to guide you through the maze. Aren't they generous? When you enter a room, the emergency light will flash, letting you see the paths before you for a second. And also what lies beyond them. Whenever you see these kind kitties, just go where they are and you'll reach the next room. Unfortunately, they're not the only things in here. It is highly suggested you refrain from following any of our other guests. They can be sneaky or distracting, but they're always hostile. It's like, oh, great. So please take caution when advancing to the next room. Of course, this wouldn't be much of a mirror maze without mirrors. Can they hurt you? No, they're just mirrors, silly. They don't do anything at all. And you can't do anything to them either. They're just an obstacle you can't pass through. Go left, go center, or go right. The choice is yours, though. If you find a room with no helpful kitties in sight, and all the paths lead to a mirror or something else, it's recommended that you stay put. And just maybe it'll work itself out. Now for your navigation tools. That flashlight you found doesn't have much juice left. It'll only get you a quick extra peek at your surroundings about 5 times. So try not to use it all at once. Oh god, and there's 25 rooms and I have 3 lives? Oh god. Keep track of your progress through the rooms up to the left. And your lives up to the right. You've got 3 lives, so be careful to avoid the less friendly guests lurking forward. Why only 3 lives, you ask? Because you're so soft and squishy. Wouldn't take much to damage you beyond repair. Yeah, it's like I could just shave. And besides, you're human and humans usually only have the 1 life, yes? And yet you get 3. Don't you think you ought to show a little more gratitude? And that's the end of your tutorial. Hopefully it was helpful. Ready to play? I'll try it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go! Right. Right. Left. Stay. This room feels off, just wait. I think something just changed. Oh, Jesus. Left. Okay, next room. Oh, Jesus. Left. Next room. Stay. Something changed. Center. Next room. Right. 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 Center. Center. Stay. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. Center. Left. Left. Stay. Holy shit, I did it! Yay! You see it, the exit. You run forward, but as you do, the scenery shifts. Just slightly at first. But you're running too fast to stop yourself from colliding into the glass. Except, you don't quite go into the glass. You don't exactly collide with it either. You simply pass through it. On your side, you see an endless white void and... yourself? Dozens of you. Hundreds of you wandering around, aimless, faceless. All around me are familiar faces. Empty. So empty and listless, they don't even acknowledge your presence. You try to turn back, but the glass doesn't give. Past the glass, a familiar black cat walks up and looks at you. You think it meows at you, but you can't make out the sound. It tilts its head, then walks away. The glass goes dark. Then you wait helplessly as it disappears completely. You're trapped, with only yourself as company. You beat the maze! Yay! Well, wait, is there an ending if I lose? I'll go get that really quick. Ow, not that way. Suddenly, the lights turn on. Your eyes burn from the sudden brightness. As your vision adjusts, you see you're completely surrounded by mirrors. The reflections, all grotesque in unique ways, look nothing like you. But they do look hungry. You back up. You don't know where to go. Was there even a way out to begin with? You bump back into a mirror and feel a hand firmly grip your shoulder. Ah! There's a sharp pain on your other shoulder. You're up away looking back to see something leaning out of the mirror. Its face has no features, save for a large gaping mouth, stained in your blood. Looking around in panic, you think the mirrors feel closer than before. The path you'd come in from is long gone. You're surrounded, and every time you blink, you could swear the mirrors were getting closer and closer. Closer. Horrifying reflections looking hungrier. And hungrier. You failed the maze. Aww. Yeah, I guess it counts ending 0 as an ending. So yeah, I'm like halfway there. So give it I'll do another Saturday and try and get the other remaining endings. There's probably a true ending as well that's probably also going to take up time. So yeah, we'll leave it here. Very interesting so far, seeing all the dumb ways we can die. Dumb Moonlit Wolf, I'm just finishing now. Because it's getting late for me. And Saturday streams are usually short, but it's good to see ya. How you doing? Like, we just died like 20 times to a cat. It's like he's been eating us and making us grow hair and playing with our intestines. All kinds of crazy stuff, but we're not going to see the other half till next time. So yeah, thank you all so much for coming. Let me see, who should I read? Hey, better late than never. Good to see ya. Plus the VOD'll still be here so you can catch up on what you missed. I think I spelled that correctly. Okay, cool. Alright, good night, everyone. Rest well, eat your vegetables, and remember to spade and neuter your pets. Good night.